Hello and welcome to this lecture, and from this lecture onwards we are actually going to start crawling a HTML web page. So we are basically going to start up with what the crawler actually does. So up till now we have built certain functions which we are going to need, but now let's go ahead and directly jump into making a crawler. So the first thing which we need to do now is that we need to create a brand new file, and that file is actually going to contain the code which is actually going to find the links for us. So let's go ahead and create a new file in this directory. So let's go to new Python file, and let's name this file as link_finder, because this is what this file is going to do for us. That is basically it's going to take a bunch of HTML code and extract links from it. So that's what we are going to do in this file. So even before we start writing any code in there, we need to import a few things. So the first thing which we need to import is going to be the HTML parser. So the reason for importing an HTML parser is because this file is actually going to extract the links from a particular HTML page. So in order to do that, you actually need to parse the HTML code. So you need a HTML parser for that. So in order to import that, you type from html.parser import HTML parser, and that's going to import the HTML parser for you. So the next thing which you need to do is that you also need to import parse from url_lib. So you type from url_lib import parse. And once you have these two things, the next thing which you need to do is that you actually need to build a link finder class. So what we are going to do is that we are going to enclose the entire code in the link finder class. So you need to type in class link finder, and what we are going to do is that we are actually going to inherit all the functions from the HTML parser class into this link finder. So in order to do that, we type in HTML parser over here. And now inside it, what we are going to do is that we are going to create a few functions. So the first function which we are going to create is the init function, which we always create whenever we are creating any class. So this is going to be def init, and to this init we are actually going to pass in the self. Then we are also going to pass in the base URL, because remember that whenever we actually need to find links, we need a few pieces of information, and that is nothing but the base URL, which is nothing but the URL which we are going to start with, and the page URL as well. So let's simply pass in the base URL over here, and also let's pass in the page URL as well. So once we have these two things passed in, we could go ahead and create this init method. So the first thing which we are going to do is that we are going to use super. So we type super dot _init. So once this thing is done, we are pretty much going to assign the base URL and the page URL to the self variables. So we type self dot base URL. So we type base_URL. This is going to be equal to base URL, and self dot page URL is going to be equal to page URL. And then finally, what we need to do in order to store links is that we are going to type in self dot links, and we are going to declare it as a set. So this is going to be a set of links over here. So once we are done with this, we also need to have a few more functions. So the first function is going to be the error function. So we type def error, and as you guessed, this function is actually going to be used to handle any error. So we are not going to write any code in this as of now. So let's just type in pass over here, and also you need to create a new function which is actually an inbuilt function, and that function is actually called as the handle start tag function. So what that function does is that it actually gathers or captures all the starting tags. So by starting tags, what I mean is that each and every HTML file has a starting tag and an ending tag, and this handle start tag function actually captures all the starting tags in a HTML code. So let's also define that function. So we type def handle start tag, and this is automatically going to be completed for us. And as of now, what we want to do in this function is that, let's say you want to print out all these start tags. So you simply need to type in print, and you need to type in the tag over here. So this is actually going to return each and every tag for you. Okay, so now once this thing is done, you're pretty much good to go. So that's it for this lecture, and in the upcoming lecture what we are going to do is that we are going to actually add in some more code to this handle start tag function so as to accept the tags which are actually going to contain our links. So that's it for this lecture, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.